Hey everyone, this is Stephanie, and today I'm talking about something that is at the heart of pretty much any money conversation, any money goal, any money, anything, and that is saving money. What's really interesting to me is that saving money is something that I've never found not challenging, even as I've gotten better at it, even as I've learned more about it, even as I've made more money. It's never gotten to a point for me that it's effortless. And I'm always returning to this question of how can I be better about saving money? Because that behavior of saving and that willingness to constantly revisit what we can be doing better around it is really at the core of our financial well being. So today I want to talk about some of the specific things I've done to get better at saving money and share with you some new findings around American savings habits and challenges from today's sponsor, PurePoint Financial. So, according to this new study from PurePoint Financial, 59% of Americans want a future where they don't have to worry about money. No surprise there, right? But what is interesting is that freedom from money stress now ranks as a top priority above owning a home and having a family. And I gotta be honest, I totally feel the same way. And that's not to say that I don't want to own a home or have a family. I don't know, we'll see. But for me, financial freedom has definitely been priority number one because I know that if I'm financially free, then I can afford to do whatever I want, whether it means owning a home, having a family, or something else entirely. And to get there, to that point of financial freedom and security, we gotta master saving money. Now, according to this study from PurePoint Financial, almost half of Americans don't feel proud of how much they have saved, and 1 in 3 don't feel in control of their finances. In fact, respondents report their median savings balances are down by 35%. So, how can we get back on track? Well, tip number 1 is to track your money. I know it's not directly related to savings, and you've probably heard me say this before, and you're definitely going to hear me say it again, but I can't emphasize enough how important this step of writing down everything you earn and writing down everything you spend really is. It's hard to make a plan for what to do with your money if you don't know where it's actually going and you don't know where you currently stand. But when you do write it down and you see where every dollar comes in and where every dollar goes out, you start getting a much clearer picture of your money and you can start to set realistic savings goals and you track your progress to keep you accountable. Tip 2 is to make saving money a habit. This is especially important when you're just starting out. While yes, you do want to get to a point where you're setting aside at least 10% of every paycheck, when you're just starting to save, remember the habit of setting money aside is more important than the dollar amount you save. It's really easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, I can only afford to set aside $5 a week, so it's not even worth it. But when you're just starting out, it's not so much about that dollar amount. It's more about establishing the discipline of saving and the habit of setting aside money consistently, regardless of how much. You can always scale your savings contributions as you're more able, when you get a raise or a gift or a windfall. But establishing the habit of consistent savings tends to be the most challenging aspect of effective saving. So start there with whatever you can afford to set aside right now. Tip number 3 is to automate your savings. This can also help you with tip number 2, make saving money a habit, because while saving money each week is great in theory, it still leaves us with the possibility of failed follow through. Life happens. Temptations arise. Automating our savings can help us eliminate the potential for weakness and self-sabotage in these moments. So instead of paying the bills each month and saving whatever's left over, automate a transfer directly from your checking account into your savings account immediately after your paycheck lands in your account each week or month. When you don't see that money sitting in checking, you're less likely to think of it as money you have to spend. Tip number 4 is to maximize the money that you save. Now, according to this new research from PurePoint Financial, 47% of Americans leave their money in a savings account at the same bank where they have their checking account. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, what's wrong with that? Well, what's wrong with that is that if your savings is at the same bank as your checking account, it's a pretty good indicator that you haven't really shopped around for the best savings account for your needs. And before you dismiss that as insignificant, I just want to walk you through the math. So, according to data from the Federal Reserve, there is more than $9 trillion sitting in savings accounts in the US, earning an average interest rate of 0.09%. So, let's say you have $1,000 sitting in that savings account at a rate of 0.09%. You would earn less than $1. Now, if you had that same $1,000 sitting in a savings account with a 2% interest rate, you would earn $20. Now, I know it might not sound like a lot, but consider what a difference that makes as your savings account grows over time. On a $10,000 balance, 2% is $200. On a $50,000 balance, it's $1,000 compared to $45 at a rate of 0.09%. In other words, by not shopping around for the best rates on your savings, you're leaving money on the table. So make sure you're getting the most out of the money that you save by taking a look at your savings accounts and making sure you're earning at least 2%. Now, rates shift, they go up and down. So for context, I'm recording this video in March of 2019. And at this point, I think you should be looking for savings accounts that are paying at least 2%. And if you're not getting that or anywhere near that, I would seriously consider shopping around for high yield savings accounts like those at PurePoint Financial, so you can make sure your money is working just as hard for you as you do for it. Finally, tip number 5 is to get specific about what you're saving for. So saving money isn't just about saving for the sake of saving. It's about saving to afford the things that matter to you. So instead of just focusing on the numbers, make sure you're connecting those numbers to your priorities. For example, saving an extra $500 per month might sound like a huge sacrifice, but if you know that you're setting aside those savings in service of protecting your loved ones in case of an emergency, or for affording your dream of retiring abroad, you'll probably be more motivated to follow through, increasing your chances of actually achieving your savings goals. To keep your why top of mind and make daily spending and savings decisions that align with your big picture priorities, create tangible reminders of your why and strategically place them around your life. For example, an image of your dream retirement destination as your desktop background as you're saving up for that future, or a picture of your kids wrapped around your credit cards as you work to build their emergency cash cushion. Whatever motivates you to save, make it visual and put that reminder someplace where you have to check in with it regularly. According to PurePoint Financial's report, 8 in 10 Americans believe saving money is personally rewarding, even more so than losing weight. So remember, saving money can be fun. Just make sure you're taking the right approach by keeping your why top of mind. So let's recap. 1, track your money. You can't make an effective savings plan if you don't know where your money is going. 2, establish a savings habit. No matter how much, establishing a consistent practice of setting money aside is the key to saving success. 3, automate your savings. If you don't see it, you're less likely to spend it. 4, maximize the money that you save. If you haven't shopped around to make sure you're getting the best rates on your savings, now's the time. You can learn more about how to maximize your savings by visiting purepoint.com. And finally, 5, get specific about what you're saving for. As exciting as it is to have more money in the bank, at the end of the day, it's about what the money affords you. And for me, I gotta be honest, the biggest thing my savings affords me, more than my vacations or my lifestyle or anything else, is peace of mind. That freedom from constantly worrying about and stressing about money is huge. Now, I still have my moments, and I'm always returning to this question of how can I be better about saving more. But these 5 steps have been foundational to my saving success thus far, so I hope they'll be helpful for you too. And if you have any other favorite saving strategies, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for ways to up-level my savings game. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll catch you next time.